beats, rhymes, and plus reality, yeah, strictly under, never gonna be on the radio.
Beats, rhymes, and plus reality. The world is after me, looking to shine beside my cavalry. Amongst all that bullshit, emphatically. In a world where artists create for salary, I seek to overthrow radically. Mediocre mainstream as the people over the eyes of Miss Hip-Hop. What does it have to be? I won't turn a cheek, instead I fight back automatically. No computers capable of calculating cures to the comical. The kind of casualties come after me. If you dare to test your luck, then by the sudden force of thunder you get struck. My lyric surgery, then they rush. A pack of wild dogs in the rough. You're steady trying too much, but don't even have enough to touch a bluff of the underground stuff that Parker spits up. You never seen the likes of any such MCs looking to decapitate the professors of the tough. Beats, rhymes, and plus reality.
Beats, rhymes, and plus reality.
Reality.
Strictly under, never gonna be on the
Never hear me on the radio.
Beats, rhymes, and plus reality. Strictly under, never gonna be on the radio.
I stand alone on the planet, surrounded by many weak eyes. The level of arachnophobia lets me see lies and be prized. The number one fear on earth in a poll given by weak minds. Try and see my skill on the microphone and be fried. You get 3 tries, stand tall but only knee high. You fucks with me, try and be tied to platinum records on your ankles, tossed off by the seaside.
Whoa.
It's Ollie Smith and Mr. Parker. We're showing you the path, the musician and the prophet, not to mention the math. So don't call yourself an artist if your soul gets cash. For dollar signs are adding up for you to walk right past your last chance at the future, cause it starts in the past. If you're hearing what I'm saying and feeling what I'm speaking, or think about it for a second and forget by next weekend. You can listen to me close and feel me as I reach in. I'll touch your mind and body at once, you're left tweaking. With what? Beats, rhymes, and plus reality.
Beats, rhymes, plus reality.
A little reality.
Strictly under, never gonna be on the radio. Beats, rhymes, and plus just a little bit of reality.
A little reality.
Strictly under, never gonna be on the radio. No, 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 no. Yeah, let me tell you. Ooh, me and Mr. Parker gonna lay it down. Me and Mr. Parker gonna lay it down.
Well, going right into Angela here with Tricks. We have another big fan of women Tricks here. John, how are you?
Good, doing well.
We got Angela on the water, fresh off that jump win. I think she's liking that Mastercraft boat and that Inmar engine, huh?
Yeah, it's going well for her. You know what? The conditions really couldn't be better tonight.
How about this crowd? It's
You know, I'm elated with the crowd. I was out there on the dock at 6 o'clock, and people are lining up down there.
So tell us about your involvement in the U.S. Open. Like, I mean, you guys have really stepped up to the plate. I mean, you've got skiers from all over the world wanting to come here at the end of the season, and they've been training hard. They're hungry for this one event.
Right. Well, I mean, part of it, and you heard Sully say it on the mic before, was that when you're out in the water and you can hear all these people cheering for you, and it echoes across the water. I mean, in any athletic sport, you got people cheering for you, your adrenaline pumps, you get goosebumps, and you want to perform. And you know, it's a great venue. Disney's been great to work with, and athletes love it. It's really that crowd excitement that really gets them going.
Right. It's interesting. This is Surf Expo. This is everybody in the water sports industry, surf industry, and the talk of today is the U.S. Open. They all want to come, and that hasn't been there that way for a long time in the water skiing world.
Well, I tell you what. I mean, I work with Surf Expo a lot, and last year they had some entertainment that they had to do, and we thought that, you know, kind of hurt our attendance a little bit, and so they got behind me right from the get-go, and we just said, let's work together. It's about the water sports industry. Water skiing is obviously a huge part and a huge foundation of the water sports industry, so they backed us up 100%, and they helped market it with surf, and so really joining together actually helped us.
And another interesting thing is some of our sponsors. I mean, we've got Inmar,
Yep.
Masscraft,
Yep.
OJ Props. perfect pass,
Yep.
master line. It's like the skiers, if you gave them a checklist and said, give me
Yep.
what's my favorite rope, my favorite boat, my favorite engine, I mean, you got it all together. And that's the really thing that the skiers love that support from guys like yourself. And,
Well, I tell you what, what's interesting is you look at all these people here and you go to surf and you see all the people there, but it's such a family community, and that's really part of it.
yeah, it's cool. Here comes Angela back with her toe pass. That was a pretty clean hand pass that she had here, especially if she just went out and jumped. She got the adrenaline going. She got to go dry off, grab your trick ski, run back down to the dock, get your heart rate down, and go back out and start running around on your trick ski.
Well, all these athletes are pretty amazing, especially when you're going into 3 events. Nice. The amount of lactic acid that starts to build up in your thighs and your legs, plus all the adrenaline going, they are phenomenal athletes. It's what they do. It really is amazing.
Yeah. And I don't think people understand the commitment that these people are making. These guys have been. I saw Angela in Austria 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
They were there training. She goes from there. Then they have a tournament in Ireland. Then
Right.
they come here. Before that, now they're going to go back to the Europeans. So these guys are running around. I mean, that travel tears these guys up. But they're so excited to get to Disney,
Yep.
to the Mastercraft
Yep.
U.S. Open.
Yeah. You know what's really amazing, and I've talked to a lot of the Mastercraft athletes, and while they're on the water nonstop all the time, the other conditioning, the mountain biking, the road biking, getting in the weight room, really they compete in so many other levels of conditioning just to get on the water so they can do this all day long.
We were talking, it's interesting talking with Will, because a lot of the water skiing is new to her, being a wakeboarder,
Right.
and just trying to explain that, these guys are standing on half the size of a wakeboard, widthwise,
Right.
lengthwise, putting a rope on their foot, being pulled by a 300 horsepower boat, and then running as fast as they can, spinning in and out and flipping.
Yep.
It's really amazing, to understand what these guys are doing.
No question. And Will can really appreciate this type of sport because it does have some similarities to wakeboarding. They've got a short distance. They have to make their full pass to a certain amount of tricks.
It's fun to see Alex in here, Alex
Yeah.
Maritano. She actually is living and training in Orlando, and she's been one of the champions in the junior division for years, but she's taken it now to that next level. And when I saw her on the list of making the finals, I was really happy for her because I know the hard work over all the years that she's put into it.
Well, you know what? When you look at all the finalists this year, some of the names that you would have expected are not there, which really is exciting for the sport because you've got people that have been around. That's what's great about sports is what they're doing out here is a fraction of a second of a mistake, and for them to correct that mistake or get into the finals is really
And
amazing.
it's interesting, that fraction of a second
Yep.
is the difference between
It is.
first and fifth.
Yeah.
And she's she's going okay here, but she's having she's having some trouble, bobbles. It could be nerves, but when the lights are out, things change. I mean, your depth perception gets really messed up.
Absolutely. We changed the course a little bit. We added some more lighting because the athletes, and we went back to the athletes and said, okay, what worked for us, what didn't work for us? And they said, it was a little dark. So we've got an extra set of lights out there, and it's interesting for me now to see this angle, the point of view of the camera here, because it does look a little brighter, but this is nighttime. And we got Florida water here, which is notoriously dark to begin with. So it's tough. It's a whole new challenge.
Well, it's going to take a. I mean, with Angela going out with that first score, we haven't got it yet, but it's going to be a decent score. The other girls are going to have to step it up, but there's some heavy hitters.
Yeah.
With Mandy and Clementine coming up. We've got a score coming in here. We've got Alexi with 10.390.
Jeez.
Wow. Jimmy 10.260, and then we got
Solid.
Olivier with a 99.80. So we were thinking there was a little more room, but he's kind of squeaked into that first place position.
Absolutely. Wow.
But that's really
Solid
good for
score.
Alexi.
Absolutely.
So we have a huge international flair here with these guys too. I mean, from Belarus, first place in men's tricks.
Yeah.
And then we've got
Women's jump.
I know.
I mean,
So it is a true international event at a U.S. Open.
No
I mean, wait till
question.
so we got Greece in the gold. We got Alexia from Belarus. We don't know yet in the women's tricks. We got a French with Clementine. Is way up there. Here's Alex getting into some of her flips.
yeah, she had a little bobble there in that first one.
Oh, she had a big ball.
Went out hard, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's where maybe this inexperience, being a new, making the finals at the U.S. Open is pretty big.
Yeah, the water this year, I'm really pleased with the water. You always hope and pray that the wind dies down we get some flat water here, and I think we're blessed tonight. That's for sure.
Yeah, she started struggling here a little bit. And what she was going to do is she's either going to do a back-to-front flip or a back-to-back mob, and just went really early on the way.
She came off her back foot a little bit, and that front started going in. Caught the tip.
So she caught that edge pretty big. Well, we've got Will over there.
Hello, Mike.
How's it going, Will? You got Jimmy Seamers over there.
I have. I'm very lucky. I do have Jimmy Seamers here. He's joined me. Hello, Jimmy.
Hello, how you doing?
Good, thank you. Play second?
Second overall and second tricks. So, last term I got third and third. So this is second and second.
So next year?
Next term, yeah, keep it rolling, first and first.
Yeah, I mean, I can see there, Jimmy, you are in fact a Mastercraft skier. You're going to be pretty proud to be here. Obviously, Mastercraft, US Open. Feeling a little, choked up about that?
Oh, absolutely. This is the best event of the year by far. Skiing under the lights is very cool for all of us. It's challenging, but it's very cool. It's it looks, all the pictures turn out really nice, and the spectators like it a lot. So.
Yeah, I mean, the crowd here is amazing. Is this an unusual event? Are there many events like this, like night events? I believe I've been to a night jump before, but I mean, this is an unusual setup for you.
Yeah, there's 2 other night events, I believe, but they're based around jump, not all 3 events. So the jumpers are somewhat used to it. Trick skiers and slalom skiers, unless if someone's practicing in the dark and I don't know about it, we're not used to it.
So this is all new for you. So you've been prepared for this, eating lots of carrots so you can see in the dark?
Actually, I'm kind of blind and I didn't put my contacts in.
Imagine what you could do if you did. That'd be amazing. You blitzed it, huh?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've never skied in my contacts.
Well, thank you for joining me, Jimmy. That's really good. Well done tonight. You're going to go get some beers now? You done for the night?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm finished. I'm out of here.
You have a good night. Thank you.
Well, that's it's fun to see Jimmy up there. Like he said, he got third and third, and now he's got a second and second. He's back for next year. He's going to come and claim that first and first. But it's interesting. He's such a great athlete, from slalom to trick to jump to overall, and he's just a major player in the water ski scene.
Well, I think you said it there too. You look at, I've got Wade Cox on my team, who's a slalom guy, and Wade's been killing it for years. And then you got a guy like Jimmy Seamers, who's good in 3 different events. And it's so difficult to have that high world-class level in all 3 sports.
Just the dedication that these guys have to, and it's not just on the water. I mean, it's thousands of hours on the water, but also off the water. They're beating themselves up. They're constantly in aches and pains, and they're dealing with it. Whatever they're doing to stay fit enough off the water.
I talked to Jimmy last year, and he was hurting. He had some aches and pains, and in fact I talked to him at Surf Expo, and he had some ribs that were hurting, some shoulders, some elbows. So talk about a lot of therapy and a lot of ice at the end of the day.
So what? So we've got a huge international field that came here, and as far as the U.S. Open, this is its 20th year.
Yeah, 20th year,
and it's just getting bigger. I mean, where do you see it going?
Well, I tell you, when last year we wanted to blow it up, so to speak, and come here, my goal and my team's goal in Mastercraft was to really make a commitment. We started making ski boats. We obviously make recreational boats and wakeboard boats now, but we're never going to lose our focus on where we got started. And I kind of feel it's my responsibility to keep water ski moving. I've got athletes. We're involved in other organizations, and I think really it's. You hear the ski companies say we've sold more skis this year. I think it's definitely on an upswing, and stuff like this is going to help because look at all the kids down here. We're exposing it to different kids, parents.
It's just huge. Well, Will's got an old friend down there. You guys are starting to hang out a lot together, huh?
We are, Maya. I was thinking, later on we're going to, hang out a little bit more and stuff.
So Angela was just down there with those big long skis. Now Angela's down there with this little short fat ski.
Yeah, she has got a trick skier with it now, and I think she's pretty good on it from what I saw, Mike. So how did you feel about it, Angelique?
I think I did pretty good. The conditions out there are different than what we usually ski in because of the dark. It's night already and everything. But I'm pretty happy with what I did, and I'm just waiting on my score to see if it's enough.
You think? How do you feel about it? You feel like it might be enough? Are we looking at?
I feel like it's up there, and but all the girls can do it, so it's going to be very close. And I need to know the actual score and see if it was enough.
Yeah, it's got to be tough out there. I mean, you usually, which is a stronger event? You usually do both events, Angelique, jump and trick?
I usually do both. I used to be a tricker when I was younger. Now everybody calls me a jumper, so I try to do my best in both.
Well, I think I was very impressed by both. And good luck. The score's coming out soon.
I hope so. I'm waiting.
I've got my fingers crossed for you. You have to come back and see me again. Let me know.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Will. We've got Mandy on the water now. Mandy just went out there, and Mandy is an interesting story. She's a short girl, but she was offered to play professional basketball.
Wow, you know what? I didn't know that.
That's a true story. But I met her when she was a really little girl, a young girl, and she had some conflict of scheduling coming down to ski back in the day down in Palm Beach when I was working down there. And her dad told me that she was at basketball camp. And I thought he was kidding with me. I laughed about it. But she's actually that good of a basketball player that she was offered to play in the WNBA.
You know, one, that's impressive in and of itself. But to think that WNBA, world-class water skier, I mean, that's amazing. I mean, that's really amazing.
And the thing is, obviously that, the liveliness in her legs that can make a short girl jump like that are really going to help her, and you'll get to see that here in her flip pass.
Well, I played basketball in high school, and, the hip flexors, your core rotation, all that is very critical. And there's a lot of similarity in jumping sports, hardcore sports and water sports.
And that's what you'll get to see here. You'll get to see some good lift off the wake. She's one of the better girl flippers.
Well, obviously, I'm a little biased because, she's one of my athletes. So.
She started there with a wake step over wake line 5 front. She'll get a few 5s in there, jumping over the buoy. Now she's going to get into her flips. Go, Mandy.
She's looking smooth.
Yeah. I think she likes that Mascaf wake.
Yeah, she's happy. Nice.
Look at home.
Yeah. You gotta like the fist pump that. That's right now. I mean, we can't hear it because we're back here in the tent, but the crowd was cheering for her when she made that stand-up pass, and that's really what this is all about.
Well, you've got another friend over there. You got Alex over there with you.
I do have Alex over here with me. She joined me. She just come off the water, Mike. She's looking happy with herself. Alex, you happy?
I'm happy to be here.
You're happy to be here. How about your ski?
I skied okay. My first pass was all right, and then I just I fell in my third flip, so I missed a few flips. 3 flips I missed. So it was okay. I'll take it. I'm happy to be here.
It must be very critical. I mean, taking a fall, presumably. I was talking to Mike. Excuse my ignorance, I'm not a trick skier, but he was explaining to me how this is a real balance between getting those technical tricks in, but also doing them within a certain amount of time. So presumably you take a fall, that's got to damage you quite a lot.
Oh, absolutely. Especially, a lake like here is pretty rolly, and at night it's just a different atmosphere, and, you just have to keep a level head when you're out there and be smart.
Well, it sounds like you got a good attitude towards it. I mean, tell me more about the rollers and stuff. Is that due to the fact that this isn't a dedicated water ski site?
Yes, and definitely. If you look at the banks, they're pretty vertical, and it's moving out there a lot.
So that's just adding to it, and it's dark and everything's good. Well, I'm impressed. I think you did great out there. You're waiting your scores at the moment?
Yeah, I haven't heard yet what they are, but
well.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you do well. Congratulations, and we'll speak to you again. Take care.
We've got a couple of big scores. We got Clem on the water here. She looked like she struggled a little bit at the beginning of her pass, but I think the reason she's struggling is because she knows that Angela's got a 74-30.
Wow,
that's a big score at night.
Yeah, it is.
Angela's having a pretty nice evening tonight.
Yeah, it's it's interesting when you hear some of the competitors come up and you talk about the water conditions. And, for us, that's what's kind of exciting is, you can even be on a ski lake and it can be a windy day. So
that little bobble there is going to be interesting. But she's a really good flipper, and she has really good hand pass. That's that balancing act we talked about right there. So we got a 74-30, and then we got Alex at a 47. We haven't got Mandy's score yet, but that's in the back of Clem's mind right now is I just got to hang in there, get through this pass, and get to my hand pass, which is her strong pass.
And let's face it, when you've got a competitor that just had a great pass, that puts pressure on an athlete. They know what they have to do.
And I think that's one of the keys is the pressure.
Yep.
Well, here's the like some of us are thinking, well, the big pressure was getting here.
Yep.
They had to get through those 2 rounds to get here. Now they got here. Now, all of a sudden, somebody puts a score out in front of you. It's not so light out there. Your depth perception's off. These guys really, I mean, maybe if they were smart enough the last week would train in this. And I know some of the guys were saying they do it, but I don't know if you can ever really get comfortable with it.
And it's a little different too, because you can train in the dark, if you can go on your own lake, but we also have, big lights out there, so it's really truly not dark, so you have different shadows, different lights.
Your depth perception. I would always, and I knew it when I was skiing, tricking, I knew don't slow the boat down because that's the speed you trick it. But at night, you'd always slow the boat down, and that could have been some of the issues there. These guys are smart. They leave the speed alone. Ooh, that ski line 5 didn't go too good.
Yep.
So that's looking interesting now.
Yeah, it is.
So that definitely puts Angela up there on the podium. Where does
Mandy fall in?
Where does Mandy fall in? And Alex wasn't too happy with things, but 47.60 when you fall on her toe pass wasn't 47.60. So I think Alex has a bigger smile going right now. Yeah, that what it was she was doing a ski line 5 front, and actually at the World Championships, somebody was telling me watch her ski line 5, and she did it perfect there.
Really?
So maybe the nerves got to her.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, she's not too happy with that. But she's the U.S. Open overall champion. She's going to be a little happy when you hand her off that check.
Absolutely.
So talk to us about what's going to happen with the U.S. Open. Where are you going?
Well, I tell you what, Disney has been a great partner for us. We've got 2 years back to back under our belt. Anytime you do an event like this and you have to involve, a big facility like this, you learn how to work with each other. But this year, frankly, was flawless. It was very smooth. They want us back. We've talked to them about next year from the start of it, and they said absolutely. So, while we don't have anything set in concrete, I mean, it's going very well, and I really don't foresee it's going to be any problem. So I'm excited about the future as well.
As you're talking about that, when I was driving in here today, I make the turn to come in, and I see like Disney signs and all that. I go like, how cool is this?
Yeah,
like it's not one of these backyard events in the middle of some farm. So like Disney, how much better can it get at night? For the spectators.
It's interesting that rain last night actually helped us because the lake went up about a foot, so we got rollers going out the backside. For the spectators and everybody watching, if you're out there on the sidewalk, it's really a nice venue for people to watch.